Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into one of the most wild and enduring theories out there. The idea that our planet isn't solid at all, and that a whole other world might exist right under our feet.
So, let's just start with this one question, a question that has obsessed people for centuries. What if the planet we're standing on isn't a solid ball of rock and magma, but is actually hollow?
Now, you might be thinking, this is just some modern internet conspiracy, right? But you'd be surprised. The idea actually begins where ancient beliefs and, well, cutting-edge science kind of collide.
So get this, a study in the journal Nature, not that long ago, confirmed a gigantic reservoir of water deep within the Earth's mantle. Now, to be clear, it's not a liquid ocean like we have on the surface. It's water trapped inside a mineral called ringwoodite. Still, the fact that our planet is hiding an ocean 3 times bigger than all of ours combined, well, it definitely gets you thinking. And what's wild is that this modern scientific find kind of echoes something way older. You look at Hindu traditions, Buddhist texts, and all sorts of ancient myths, and you see this common idea, this thread of an inhabited inner world, a place where other beings live, completely hidden from us.
Okay, so how did this ancient myth explode into a modern obsession? Well, that story really kicks off in the 19th century, all thanks to one very determined man and a letter that was, frankly, audacious.
And yeah, this was no casual note. We're talking about John Cleve Symmes Jr., a former U.S. Army officer who went on this massive campaign. He sent his declaration to literally hundreds of universities, politicians, and scientists all over the world because he was absolutely convinced he had stumbled upon the planet's biggest secret.
I mean, his plea was just so bold. He wasn't just saying the Earth is hollow. He was saying it's like a set of Russian nesting dolls, with huge openings at the North and South Poles. And he was ready to dedicate his entire life to leading an expedition to prove it.
And this is where the story takes a really dark and strange turn. Symmes himself died pretty much forgotten, but the theory claims his idea didn't die with him. In fact, it's believed one of his few surviving letters found its way into some very influential and very dangerous hands.
So the theory goes that the top Nazi leadership became completely fixated on this idea of an inner world, believing it could hold the key to unimaginable power.
And this is a really crucial detail. According to this story, the Nazis weren't just looking for new land. They were looking for powerful allies. They were supposedly tapping into Tibetan legends about 2 different inner Earth races, Agartha, who were said to be good, and Shambhala, a hostile race that was an enemy of mankind.
And according to this whole narrative, it wasn't just a vague idea, it was a full-blown operation. The story goes that a Nazi team actually went to Tibet, came back with a map they got from some local priests, and then used that map to pinpoint an entrance in Antarctica where they set up a top-secret base.
Okay, let's fast forward to right after World War II. The Third Reich is defeated, but the story claims that the United States then secretly picked up the trail of this whole Antarctic mystery. And the timing here is just so important. Only 1 year after the war ends, the U.S. launches something called Operation High Jump. And we're not talking about a small research trip. This was a massive naval fleet, 13 ships, an aircraft carrier, and almost 5,000 soldiers, all sent to Antarctica.
And right here, this is the heart of the conspiracy theory. The official story that everyone was told, oh, it's just for, geographic and weather research. But the alleged real mission, to hunt down that secret Nazi base and find out what on earth they were up to. So the official report and the alleged eyewitness accounts, well, they couldn't be more different. Officially, the mission took heavy losses because of an avalanche. But according to the theory, soldiers who were there later told these incredible stories of being attacked by advanced, disc-shaped aircraft that came flying straight out of the ocean.
Which brings us to what is really the climax of this entire story, the supposed secret diary of the mission's commander, the famous polar explorer, Admiral Richard Eber. So according to this diary that supposedly surfaced after he died, during one of his flights, Byrd didn't fly over the ice, he flew into an opening. He then describes flying over these lush, green mountains and valleys, seeing animals that look like mammoths, and then finding a shimmering, futuristic city.
The diary alleges that Byrd was escorted to meet this leader, who was called the Master, and this being supposedly explained that his people were deeply worried about humanity now having atomic weapons. He said that the disc-shaped crafts they'd seen, which they called flugelrods, were theirs, sent to see what we were up to.
Then this leader delivered this absolutely chilling prophecy. He warned of a coming dark age for humanity, a direct result of our own wars and our own violence, saying our weapons would eventually bring about our own destruction.
The story ends with Byrd returning to the U.S. and, allegedly, his incredible report was immediately classified at the highest levels of government. He was debriefed, put under tight security, and ordered to never speak of what he saw for the rest of his life.
But the story doesn't just stop in 1947. You see, the people who believe in this theory, they point to a bunch of modern mysteries as lingering clues that maybe, just maybe, it's all true.
Yeah, proponents connect the dots between all kinds of things. They'll point to claims that NASA has picked up weird radio signals coming from inside the Earth. They'll talk about legends from indigenous tribes like the Makusi, who have stories of a 15-day journey into the planet. And they'll even point to real places like the Sandung Cave system, which is so huge it literally has its own rainforest and clouds inside. So, in the end, the Hollow Earth theory weaves together these threads of science, mythology, and military secrets into this incredible story. So, what do you make of it? Is it just a bizarre collection of myths, a massive historical cover-up, or is it a shocking truth that's just waiting to be discovered? For now, that mystery continues.